How are you all doing?
Hi, we're doing fine.
It's
How
good
are
to
you?
see you.
Yeah. I was just curious.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. How your plans are coming for any future?
They're coming. I will make a decision sooner rather than later. I hate to throw out a particular time, but it'll be most likely in January. That's soon enough for you.
As you're weighing your decisions, I mean, what is weighing? What are some of the factors you're trying to weigh into that decision?
Well, I want to do what's right, and determining what's the right thing to do is difficult.
Because of other factors within the party, other contenders, or your own life?
No, my own life. What's the best way for me to live my life over the next several years? I know I'm not being terribly forthcoming, and that's not my style. As you know, I hope. But I'm still in the midst of talking with folks, exploring a lot of things.
Do you know when you might make a decision?
Probably sometime in January. Is that okay, Louis? Does that fit your timetable?
Whether it's you or somebody else, what do you think of the Democratic prospects going up against John Kasich in his re-election bid?
Well, I think they're very good. I mean, speaking of my own loss, I lost by a little over 2 points at the most difficult time for anyone to be running for governor in several decades. I believe, although the governor's approval has improved, I think what was 42%. I think my approval was considerably higher than that at this point in my governorship. And I think there are, just as there were very clear differences in this presidential election. I mean, one of the things I really liked about this election is that there was no mushy middle. I think the American people understood very clearly what Governor Romney's agenda was and what his values were and what he would try to do as president. And I think they also understood the same thing about President Barack Obama. And so they had a very clear choice, and they made a choice. And I believe 2 years from now there will be a very clear choice between whoever the Democratic candidate may be and Governor Kasich. And that's the way I see it. The fact that the most recent poll that I made reference to indicated that a sizable percentage of people within the governor's own party indicated that they would like to see him challenged. All of those things, I think, bode well for whoever the Democratic candidate may be. It will not be easy. It'll be very, very difficult. But I think it's very possible for a Democrat to win.
Some are saying that he would prefer to run against you to anyone else because of the economic situation that you left, I guess,
experience in politics has been that when a candidate says there's a particular person they would like to run against, that's exactly the person they would choose not to run against. so I don't know. I mean, I would have. Or I would present lines of attack that another candidate may not face. I understand that, Governor Kasich will not be able to choose his opponent, and that's the way it ought to be.
What about the narrative here? He paints a picture in speeches around the state of the economy the way it was when you were governor and the economy the way it is now when he is governor. What about that contrast?
Well, without trying to sound defensive, and I don't think I am, Ohio's economy started to be in recovery during my last year in office. I think I'm correct, and if I'm not, do the investigation and point out that I'm not. But I think in 2010, Ohio's unemployment declined about 1.6%. And in the first year and a half or so of the new administration, unemployment declined about an additional 1.7%. So the recovery was well underway. And as I pointed out during this presidential campaign, President Barack Obama deserves the lion's share of the credit for that. The stimulus bill was hugely important to stabilizing Ohio's economy and keeping us from falling ever deeper into a much deeper recession. And the auto rescue is immeasurable in terms of its effect on Ohio's economy. So the recovery was underway. I hope it continues. I think it will. And in that regard, I wish Governor Kasich huge success. But the people understand what happened with this economy nationally. They understand that Ohio is doing better for identifiable reasons, and as I've said over and over, and I'll say it again, those reasons have more to do with what President Barack Obama did than what the current administration has done.